The conference races have begun.
You're watching the River Valley Report.
I'm Leland Barclay, and this is the River Valley Sports Report. Rogers and Southside put on quite a show on Friday night in the most anticipated of the four 7A West Conference openers, and it was worthy of the hype. Rogers scored with a minute left and then held Southside on downs for a 44-38 win in a battle of teams that were 3-0 in their non-conference schedule. Rogers never trailed in the game on Friday night and twice had 14-point leads, both of which Southside wiped out. After Rogers took a 3-0 lead, Southside punted to the 1, but Rogers went 99 yards in 11 plays, starting with a sliding catch by Jeff Regan, aided by a long pass to Grayson Cash, and touchdown pass from Dane Williams to Isaac Chapman. Southside responded quickly with Amari Tucker reeling off a 74-yard touchdown run. Rogers settled for a 17-10 lead at the half and led 24-10 before Southside scored on Carter Zimmerman's 3-yard run and Zimmerman's 32-yard touchdown pass to Isaac Gregory with 1:25 left in the third quarter to knot the game up at 24-24. Rogers scored on consecutive possessions to open the fourth quarter for a 38-24 lead, but again, the Mavericks rallied. Zimmerman hit Tucker on a 9-yard touchdown pass, and Joseph Kincannon recovered the onside kick. A 19-yard pass from Zimmerman to Grayson York set up Zimmerman's 1-yard run with 1:18 left that tied the game at 38-38. On Rogers' next play, though, Williams hit Regan on a screen pass, and Regan took it down the left sideline 65 yards for the game-winning touchdown. We talked to Rogers head coach Chad Arbison after the game, as well as Southside head coach Kim Dameron.
We felt like with a minute and a half to go with 2 timeouts, if we just go execute, we had a really good chance. If our thought really was just to get the ball down there and get in field goal range and kick a field goal, but we got our guy loose on the first play there, and he went and scored. So, it is what it is, and we're happy about that.
Well, Williams, you said once the run game kind of went away, you just kind of put it on his shoulders, and he accepted.
Yeah, he had to make some plays tonight, and he couldn't really run either. He was a little bit limited, so he played great. Our guys went and caught the ball for him, and the offensive line did their great job. But I think really at the end of the night, with an offense as good as theirs, our hats off to our defense.
They just continued to play hard, and we left a lot of plays out there on the field that we could have made, but they did too. And both teams kind of went up and down the field on each other, and they happened to they got it last that last score with 30 to go. If they were going to score, they actually did us a favor by doing it so quickly, but we weren't able to take advantage of that and go back down the field and score. So I'm proud of our kids. I'm proud of how they fought. We've got to get better in a lot of areas, but I see that the potential for this football team is really big time. I mean, it's really good. And what I told them after the game was that, I didn't want to see a lot of daubers down and tears and all that kind of stuff. I want to see people with the resolve to go back, go to work. We just went toe-to-toe with, I think, one of the better teams in our conference. And, we'll see how it ends. I don't think that the eventual conference champion will be undefeated. And so we'll just see how it goes. We just got to play one game at a time and see how it goes. And, we've got a tall task next week. And so we can't be looking back at this one. We got to learn from it. We got to put it behind us. And then we got to get ready to play Bentonville.
Conference play also started in the 5A West, and Alma opened with a 45-14 win at Clarksville. Two defensive scores helped the Airedales, with Cash Ferris returning a fumble 42 yards for a touchdown to end the first quarter for a 21-0 lead, and then Landon Morris returning an interception 25 yards for a touchdown that capped the third quarter with a 45-8 lead. We stopped by Alma on Monday afternoon and caught up with Airedales head coach Rusty Bush.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, after taking our first loss against Van Buren, big rival game, you know, just kind of brought the kids back in here and you know, kind of get their focus back and make them understand this is a long season. And while that Van Buren rival game is extremely important, we want to try to get better, win the next two games in non-conference, and then enter the 5A West sitting pretty good. And that's what we've done. You know, we had to do a great job, I think, as our coaching staff, reevaluate the personnel that we have on the field, make sure they're in the right place, and make sure we're teaching the right things and what our kids can do. So that's kind of where we're at, 1-3 in a row right now. Got a tough one coming into town Friday against a great Farmington football team who won a big ball game Friday, came from behind against a really good team in Harrison. So it'll be a dogfight out here on Friday.
You know, the 5A West is, man, you look up and down it, and it's going to be a competitive conference. Every game's a big one, and I guess it really starts with you guys, you know, at home on Friday.
Yeah, it's one of those deals. You can't really take a night off. You know, we like playing in a really good conference and against really good competition. Our kids enjoy it, and you know, we don't have many, but we've got a group of tough kids that are fighters, and we've really talked about this since January. To be honest with you, you know, if we want to be a part of the 5A West and contend, it goes through the Farmingtons, the Harrisons, the Shiloh Christians, and here we are. Sitting 1-0, they're 1-0. We're at home, and you know, it's got huge playoff implications here against Farmington. So we got to go out and play our best football and eliminate penalties, eliminate those mistakes, and let's see where the chips fall.
Ozark opened 4A1 conference play with a 50-14 win over Berryville. The Hillbillies scored 5 touchdowns in the first quarter and added a safety for a 36-0 lead. In the 3A1, Boonville, Charleston, Lavaca, and Mansfield rolled to impressive wins in their conference openers. That brings us to the weekly segment, Gimme 5. These are the top 5 performances of the past week in the River Valley. Number 1, the Alma Airedales began 5A West play with a 45-14 win at Clarksville on Friday. Alma ran for 261 yards in the win, and we talked to center Zach Millsap and guard Richard Taylor, 2 seniors on Alma's offensive line.
Yes, sir. I'm Zach Millsap. I'm number 71. I play center for the Alma Airedales. You know, 3-0. We got a good confidence in our team. We got a good confidence in, you know, all the players and what they can do. I think when we lost against Van Buren, I think we had a bitter taste and we was ready to get that out of our mouth. And you know, we never want to feel that again. And you know, coming into this game at Farmington, we know that this game could decide the conference champions, so we're going to come into it with a very, you know, intense mindset. We're gonna prepare well.
I'm Richard Taylor. I play left guard for the Alma Airedales. I'm 62. I think the big turnaround for the 3-game win streak was our tackling on defense. Our defense, they didn't really like getting ran over by Van Buren like that, and they turned it around. And as an offensive lineman, I think we've grown each week, and we're constantly getting better. We're starting to play like a team. We've played since Little League together, and we kind of started the season kind of playing. We kind of looked like we were playing for just one ourselves, and we kind of turned around to we're not playing just for ourselves. We're playing for the community, the team, the school. Because we see when we win football games here at Alma, the school feels a better place. It's a better place, better atmosphere. And going into Farmington, we feel good about going into Farmington because we're just going to we got plans to continue to grow as a team, and we're just ready to play each week.
Number 2, after a brutal non-conference schedule and an 0-3 start, the defending Class 3A state champion Charleston Tigers opened 3A1 play with a 51-9 win over Greenland. Jared Smithson ran for a touchdown. The Tigers notched a safety. Carter Little threw a touchdown pass to Emiliano Guiana. Smithson added a 9-yard scoring run, and Little threw a touchdown pass to Eli Huck, all for a 30-0 first quarter lead. Number 3, the Boonville Bearcats also played a brutal non-conference schedule that resulted in a 1-2 start, but they too opened 3A1 play with a 46-14 win over Hackett. The Bearcats rushed for 422 yards and even added a defensive score on Rhett Niedert's 48-yard return of a fumble for a touchdown. Number 4, Gavin Gilbreth rushed for 3 touchdowns to lead Ozark to a 50-14 win on Friday over Berryville. He also led the Hillbillies on defense with 5 tackles, including a sack and a safety, and forced a fumble. Number 5, Daniel Burton had 8 carries for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns in Mansfield's 38-8 win over West Fork. Burton had a 67-yard scoring run to cap a 27-0 first quarter lead. In the Sunday River Valley Democrat-Gazette, there were 4 pages of sports with a feature on former Van Buren quarterback Jordan Barlow, a wrap-up of Southside's loss to Rogers, player profiles, and a notebook by Kevin Taylor. Next week's spotlight will be on Xfinity driver Brandon Jones, which you saw in the intro video, and his connection to the River Valley. You can still pick up Sunday's River Valley Democrat-Gazette, which is available all across the River Valley, including eastern Oklahoma at Walgreens, Harps, Come and Go, CVS Pharmacy, Casey's, and Walmart. You can subscribe online at rivervalleydemocratgazette.com/subscribe or by calling our customer service line at 479-684-5509. Be sure to follow the River Valley Democrat-Gazette Twitter account, as well as mine, Walter Woody's, and Harold McIlvain's for updates on Friday night. You can view and purchase photos from our award-winning photographers that can be seen and purchased on our website, rivervalleydemocratgazette.com/photo. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're going to wrap up this week's River Valley Sports Report with photos by Caleb Greer from Southside on Friday night. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.